Sophia woke up early every morning. Her small apartment was quiet, except for the soft breathing of her little boy, Leo, still asleep in his bed. She smiled as she looked at him. He was her whole world. Life was not easy, but Sophia believed in hard work and hope. After preparing breakfast, she kissed Leo goodbye and left for her job. Sophia worked as a caregiver in a luxury clinic. Every day, she took care of rich patients who often treated her like she was invisible. Some even made rude comments about her clothes or her simple appearance. Sophia didn't let it show, but those words hurt her. Still, she kept going. One sunny morning, as she cleaned the room of an elderly patient, Sophia paused by the window. The garden outside was beautiful, filled with colorful flowers and green trees. For a moment, she imagined a different life, a better life for her and Leo. Maybe one day, she whispered to herself, feeling a mix of sadness and hope. But Sophia didn't have time to dream for long. She had a job to do, and there was someone waiting for her in the next room. Sophia entered the next room and saw Mr. Arthur sitting by the window. He was an old man with gray hair and a serious face. He didn't talk much, and most people at the clinic avoided him. Sophia had heard whispers from other workers. "He's rich but lonely," they said. "His children don't even visit him." "Good morning, Mr. Arthur," Sophia said with a warm smile as she opened the curtains to let in the sunlight. He didn't reply but looked at her with tired eyes. Sophia wasn't surprised. She had been his caregiver for a few weeks now, and this was how he always acted. Still, she treated him with kindness. She brought him his breakfast and helped him sit comfortably. While she worked, she talked softly. "It's a beautiful day outside," she said, hoping to make him feel better. "The garden looks so peaceful. Maybe we can go there later if you feel like it." Mr. Arthur didn't answer right away, but after a long silence, he spoke. "Why do you care so much?" Sophia stopped, surprised. She looked at him and smiled. "Because everyone deserves kindness, Mr. Arthur. Even on hard days." Mr. Arthur looked at Sophia for a moment, his eyes sharp but curious. It was the first time she had seen him really notice her. She didn't say anything more and quietly finished arranging his bed. Over the next few days, something began to change. Mr. Arthur started talking, little by little. At first, it was just short questions. "Do you have a family?" he asked one morning. "Yes," Sophia said with a small smile. "I have a little boy. His name is Leo. He is 5 years old." Mr. Arthur said, nodding. "You work hard for him." Sophia paused for a moment, surprised by his words. "I do," she replied. "I want him to have a good life. A better life." Mr. Arthur didn't say more, but the next day, he asked another question. "Do you ever get tired of this work?" Sophia thought about it. Sometimes, she admitted. But I don't stop. I can't stop. My son needs me to keep going. Mr. Arthur was quiet for a long time after that. Sophia could see something in his face, a sadness she didn't understand. It seemed like he was remembering something, but she didn't ask. One afternoon, Sophia found Mr. Arthur sitting in his chair, staring out the window. The garden was bright with flowers, but his face looked heavy with thoughts. She walked in quietly, carrying a tray with his tea and some biscuits. "Do you ever regret things?" he asked suddenly, without turning to look at her. Sophia set the tray down and sat in the chair across from him. She thought about the question. "Sometimes," she said softly. "But I try not to. Regret doesn't change the past. I just focus on what I can do now." Mr. Arthur sighed and shook his head. "It's not that simple for me. I've wasted so much time. I had everything, money, power, but I pushed people away. Now I have nothing that matters." Sophia looked at him with understanding. "It's never too late to change, Mr. Arthur. Even small kindness can make a difference." He turned to her, his eyes searching her face. "You really believe that?" "Yes," she said firmly. "I believe kindness is the most important thing. It's what I want to teach my son." For the first time, Mr. Arthur smiled, just a little. "Maybe you're right," he murmured. "Maybe it's not too late after all." A week later, Sophia was called to the office of the clinic's manager. She felt nervous, wondering if she had done something wrong. When she walked in, the manager handed her a letter. "This was left for you," he said with a strange look on his face. Sophia opened the envelope slowly. Inside was a handwritten letter from Mr. Arthur. "Dear Sophia, your kindness has shown me that life is not about wealth or success, but about the people we touch along the way. I cannot change my past, but I can do something meaningful now. I have left my fortune to you and your son. You deserve a better life, and I trust you will use this gift wisely. Thank you for reminding me what truly matters. With gratitude, Arthur." Tears filled Sophia's eyes as she read the words. She couldn't believe it. Her life had just changed forever. Months later, Sophia opened her first clinic for low-income families. She greeted every patient with the same kindness she had shown Mr. Arthur. "Now it's your turn," Sophia said at the end of the grand opening. "How can you show kindness to someone today? Let's make the world a better place, one kind act at a time."